Something that certainly is a mark of immaturity, but that we encounter quite often, is making, to use a psychological quip, dark giants out of certain people. Meaning, let's say that somebody beats me at something. Somebody slights me, meaning offends me, excludes me from something. Somebody I just feel intimidated by. I'm not sure why. There's a good chance that even if outwardly I appear to be mature, confident, I believe in myself, appear to believe in myself, I may immediately begin to make that person out as a sort of, as we said, dark giant, meaning this giant, scary figure, and it's also dark and, again, scary and unpleasant. Why do we do this? Well, we do this because of our given point of view. Unless we have a really solidified, unified sort of vision of reality where things make sense, right? And we have sufficient understanding pertaining to people and ourselves, starting with ourselves, then we probably conceive ourselves as just a small speck with its own isolated interests and agendas. And therefore, it follows naturally that any number of entities, people, creatures, animals, events, asteroids, hurricanes, lightning, they threaten us as that small speck, as that small part of the picture. Why wouldn't they? It is a fact, certainly, that so far as I am one defined by certain strengths and weaknesses, that I am a certain self-image that I have, excuse me, concerning what I'm about, that very many people can come along and snatch all that from me. And again, not just people, but animals and events, a stock market crash, whatever the case might be. If I'm emotionally invested into my wealth as it is distributed amidst stocks, then a stock market crash would be that dark giant for me. Right? If I am emotionally invested into my job, then the possibility of getting fired would be that dark giant for me. If I'm emotionally invested, as I certainly should be, into my physical health and life, then sharks, tigers, bears, lightning, tsunamis, hurricanes, earthquakes, all that can be those dark giants. And of course, if I am emotionally invested into a certain image of myself, if I have certain self-esteem needs, then any given person can become a dark giant at any given time if they threaten any of those self-esteem needs enough. I distinguish myself by my sense of personal beauty. So any given model or just person that seems to look as good as me or better than me can be that dark giant for me. I distinguish myself by intelligence. If somebody seems to be smarter than me, and especially if they disagree with my views, huge dark giant. I distinguish myself as a, very peaceful, kind person. So maybe anybody that triggers me and brings out the darker sides of me doesn't provoke introspection, but makes me feel that they are that dark giant. They're objectively bad because they contradict my self-image of being very nice. So we see that dark giants in this condition can spring up all the time. And of course, once somebody is a dark giant, it follows that we demonize them. It follows that we view them in black and white colors. They're all bad. And as opposed to saying me, that's probably all good. We dehumanize them, and potentially we can even do very bad things to them without feeling guilty, as of course has happened on personal and societal scales too many times to count historically. It can be that a whole group of people are turned into dark giants, into demons, following which even their destruction is not too high a price to pay. So, what can be said on this account? What can be said is that the only real solution is to grow up and to mature. And try to see other people as they are to the best of my present ability. Don't deceive myself. Excuse me. Easier said than done, of course. And that, of course, starts with acknowledging my own not so palpable, not so pretty sides. If I suppose myself to be all light and all good, then obviously anybody that contradicts that or threatens that is a dark giant. If I root my sense of self, my self-worth, my value, if I root it in something that somebody else can snatch away, my bank account, my beauty, my youth, my intelligence, perceived or real, doesn't matter. Then, of course, very many people and otherwise can be my enemies and can provoke a lot of fear. But if I try to be authentic and I try to develop my real individuality and I try to see people again for what they are and wish for their good and want them to succeed, then hopefully I will be at least a little bit less likely to demonize others and to turn them into black giants. Just because somebody beats me at something does not make them bad. I want to beat others. For example, I want to be wealthier than others. I want to be younger than others. I want to look better than others. I want to be smarter than others. I want to be more professionally and or personally successful than others. Does that make me evil? No, I'm just trying to get mine. So if somebody gets mine from their point of view relative to me, does that make them intrinsically evil? Does that mean that I should demonize them and turn them into this big black dark giant? No, certainly not. Be happy even for my conquer. It's good that somebody can win, even if it's not me. If I give a real effort at something, if I'm not hiding under my bed, so to speak, if not literally, who knows, then hopefully if somebody beats me in a fair contest where I gave it a sincere shot, I can be happy for them and I can desist from turning them into that scary, dark giant. And that, of course, will do wonders for my own mental health and for any possibilities of peace and cooperation among people, be it on the individual level or on the wider societal level. So we can think about it. Thank you for listening.